Hey everyone, it's my pleasure to bring to you a little bit of this topic around 10 questions, 10 experts, and one of the myths that's prevalent out there today. So I wanted to just share this one, which was a beef jerky stick or chocolate milk provides enough leucine, making branched chain amino acid supplementation unnecessary. So that's the topic we're going to discuss in these next few minutes. The crux sort of behind this argument is that branched chain amino acids are three in particular: leucine, isoleucine, and valine, which make up just three of the nine essential amino acids that are typically consumed, and that's part of the larger bolus of total amino acids, which we often count as 20. And so, of these branched chain amino acids, there are plenty of data that show it perhaps would slow muscle protein breakdown, and also perhaps stimulate muscle protein synthesis, making it for a potent sort of supplement or food source to include in order to have muscle protein synthesis or net increase in anabolism occurring. Also, it's quite popular in one study that surveyed gym goers. It looked like roughly 37% of those individuals at just normal gyms are consuming this as a supplement in their daily practice. One study that recently looked at the difference between protein intake from milk protein, which was 30 grams of protein providing 2.64 grams of leucine, compared it against branched chain amino acid supplementation, which was 6 grams, including 3 grams of leucine. And when those were postprandial, determined how that impacted myofibrillar fractional synthetic rate. There were no differences seen at the 0 to 2 hour time frame between those two whole proteins versus just the branched chain amino acids. But at 2 to 5 hours, later after consumption, it looked like the whole protein, the 30 grams of milk protein, was actually doing a better job, probably because of the other amino acids in the matrix at that point. So that sort of brings up the leucine part of this, is like, why are we just talking about leucine? And as we look at some of the original data, which was shown on the left here, which was in rats, this is a seminal paper by Garlick in 2005. They teased apart these branched chain amino acids, and you can see that leucine was responsible for stimulating the muscle protein synthesis, whereas valine and isoleucine alone did not actually significantly stimulate it. So this sort of targeted leucine as the one to be looking for. And so in men, which is where all the primary data were that were in humans, it looked like a range of 2 to 3 grams of leucine was going to be needed to sort of trigger that muscle protein synthetic response. I want to share here on the right that a recent study looked at young women and found that 0.6 grams of leucine was compared to 1.5 and 2.0 grams of leucine. And then 0 to 4 hours, when all that data was summarized, there were no differences here, showing that young women perhaps can have even less leucine to trigger muscle protein synthesis. So that brings up the question, which was, what about these beef jerky sticks and chocolate milk? And if you focus your attention here, you can see chocolate milk was 0.7 to 1.0 grams of leucine, and a beef jerky stick, one at 28 grams, was about half of that, 0.5 to 0.7 grams of leucine. So for now, we look at sort of how you break that out. So a supplement might be 5 grams of leucine. And then I put the cost per serving and the calories. So, and then you look at the beef jerky stick, would have 0.5 grams of leucine. It's about 95 cents per stick. And that would range, depending on how many you need, quite a bit in terms of price and calories. Same thing for the chocolate milk. So at the end of the day here, it looks like if you're a young man, probably is not getting the enough leucine from one stick of beef jerky or 1 cup or 237 mils of chocolate milk. But for a young woman, it likely is okay. And so therefore, this myth is plausible, where beef jerky and chocolate milk do not provide enough leucine per serving to maximize muscle protein synthesis for men, but might for young women. Sex, cost, and calories all matter in making these decisions. And then the final question is, are branched chain amino acids even necessary? All right, hope you enjoyed this little bit on this plausible explanation for leucine content in some common foods that we have. Thanks.